Peace and blessings, people. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. What it do, man? This is your boy, Azakar, man, bringing you flame. You already know. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell, homie. You be left in that loop every time your boy drop that content, man. You already know. Shout out to the black YouTube out there. Big Brother Ticket TV, Carcino, Kwame Brown, the league attorney, J.R. Wisdom, Mr. Palmer, Too Raw for Sports, Too Raw for TV. Kicking it with Mr. Mars, LC Predator Catcher, Captain Desire, Captain Kakazad, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Dr. Wesley Muhammad with the spirit of Khalid, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, up in this Mickey Ficky. You already know. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Now, I'm not in the Nation of Islam, but I love that principle so much that I live by some of them in my house. I mean, just being real with you, you know what I'm saying? They have some stern, I don't really say no stern way of living, but it's discipline. To keep you from going to the grave at an early age, you know? And it's something that they got to be doing right for them brothers be looking so good and so young. It is something that they're doing and practicing, which have the outcome that they have. Now, as far as the MGT part of it, making a woman, I wouldn't know anything about that, but I love the product that they make. I love the product that they make. You know, not being provocative dressed and knowing their place. Just know how to conduct themselves as a woman. Not always having the attitude of the Western woman. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we got today. And you know, sisters, I always tell you, y'all have access to this social media. We know black women are bad. The baddest women here on this planet. Bad as shape. Everything. All they imagine. You know what I'm saying? But when you throw yourself out there showing more skin than clothes, you're going to be put in a box. You're going to be put in a box. Meaning, men are going to look at you in a provocative manner. Nothing so, nothing less. So I got some of this audio. I'm going to play from Twisted Crimes. Make sure y'all subscribe to Twisted Crimes. Man, boy, we all messed up. But yeah, one night link up with an older man ended up being her last night alive. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all women don't go on no date sites and make y'all money and whatnot. Y'all do what y'all do, but you got to think. Protect yourself. You know? It's not as friendly as you think it is out here. So I got some of this audio I'm about to play for this content. So kick back and relax.
Are you taking video? Video. Go, I started.
Now, they started off showing this video with this young lady doing the dress, have a red dress on, she's taking a picture. But it's how she's dressed, though. You know why you gonna have the attention that they do.
It's killing me inside. I miss my baby. No one is going to discard my daughter like she's rubbish.
I feel like because she's a white guy and she's a black girl, it's just almost like they just thrown her under the rug.
Now, you know, this is the typical, you know, it's a modern woman, online access, different accounts. Boy, I got these hiccups, man. But I can't just stop the video right now. I just got to roll with it. That lets you know how dedicated I am with it. I'm just going to roll with it. And, you know, showing them, you know, the modern ways. At the club, all with the camera all in the face, taking little pictures with the filters. Y'all know how it go.
Age 23, who was found dead after a bumble date with an older white man named Matthew LaFontaine in her apartment. After having a busy night together, Lauren mysteriously fell ill and started bleeding from the nose, which prompted Matthew to call 911. She would later be pronounced dead on scene, and medical examiner determined she had died from a combination of different things. The cause of her death remains a mystery, and her family are doing everything in their power to find the truth, especially because it involved a younger lady with an older white male.
Developments in the death of Lauren Smith Fields. Autopsy was...
Now, this girl did look like she was pretty healthy. Now, you talk to somebody that used to be on opioids. I'm looking at this girl and they don't say nowhere near no opioids on her. I mean, real talk. I'm just saying.
Saying the TikTok influencer's death was accidental.
Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe
to Twisted Crimes, y'all. Twisted Crimes got to kill. Twisted Crimes got to kill. I'm telling you, got to kill.
L. Fields and Everett Smith. Lauren was a graduate of Stamford High School in Stamford, Connecticut. She was currently attending Norwalk Community College before her untimely death. Her desire was to become a physical therapist after college, but would not see...
That's what I'm saying, ladies. Y'all cannot be letting y'all cleavage be exposed to men. Do y'all know what y'all are opening up to? Y'all don't think like that because y'all just want to be seen. And I'm just being honest, mamas, aunties and all that. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all know I'm telling the truth.
Lauren loved fashion a lot, also loved to travel and enjoys life to the fullest. She can be seen in these videos visiting countries like Jamaica, Italy, England, etc.
Decided to try out a Casper mattress.
It's okay. It's okay being spontaneous and doing what you do. Man, you got to watch yourself when you're online because everybody will get a picture of you. I mean, everything I've seen on here is almost, and it's sad, but it's provocative. I know it's messed up, but it is, isn't it? From somebody who don't know this woman and have intentions. Yeah, everything on here is almost provocative. I'm just saying. Now see,
Lauren was on a dating site called...
First of all, black women, I need to let the weave thing go, man. This girl had black weave all the way down that damn spine almost. It was looking like, man, come on, man. Y'all need to let that thing go. Now, I know this is a crime content, man, but the reason why I'm doing this is because the pattern is the same. People need to peep game. The pattern is the same out here. This video is worse than this. It be on some crazy stuff, but it be on some modern day type stuff.
Where she tried to find someone to date. Along the line, she would meet someone called Matthew LaFontaine, who was a little old.
Matthew LaFontaine. Oh, what was that? Bumble, whatever the fuck it is.
Her, but she decided to still give it a try since love knows no bound. 3 days after they started communicating, she invited him to her apartment. They ate food, drank tequila with mixers, played games, and began to watch a movie according to Matthew. At one point, she received a call and she went outside to meet with her brother, and when she returned, she went to the bathroom for 10 to 15 minutes, most likely vomiting. He said she later came back and they continued watching the movie. then she fell asleep on the couch. He carried her to her bedroom where they both slept. He never said anything about having sexual intercourse, even though they would later find used condom in the bathroom with semen in it.
Now see. That's foul play right there. You lied about having sex. Now, was it yours? You know, they probably detected it. But things get swept up under the rug.
He said he woke up in the middle of the night and she was snoring, but when he woke again around 6:30 a.m., she was lying on her right side. Blood was coming out of her right nostril onto the bed, and she was not breathing. Then he called 911. Responding officer found Lauren lying on her back on the bedroom floor. She wasn't breathing and she had dried blood in and around her right nostril. The police looked at the scene, talked to Matthew for a bit, and that was about it. Matthew told police he slept with his clothes on and that they didn't have sex, even though some evidences states otherwise. The police left it at that and did nothing further, not even notifying the victim's family.
What type of crap is that? What type of crap is that, boy? That's hard, ain't it? That's hard.
Chantel Fields had not heard from her daughter all day. Her texts and phone calls went unanswered, so on the evening of December 13th, she and her son went to her daughter's apartment in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and found a note on the door. "If you're looking for Lauren, call this number," the note read. It was the landlord who informed her what had happened to her daughter. The medical examiner later released her cause of death as acute intoxication from fentanyl combined with prescription medications promethazine and hydroxyzine and alcohol.
Now see, that's what I think I'm looking at. This woman looked like she was a straight up health freak. And to take some of all that in one time and all that, that's not right. Something ain't right about that.
Her manner of death was ruled an accident.
It's killing me inside. I miss my baby.
The mother of 23-year-old Lauren Smith Fields of Bridgeport says her family's world came crashing down 10 days ago when her daughter was found dead inside her apartment on Plymouth Street, under what the family describes as mysterious circumstances. The medical examiner has not yet released the cause of death, and investigators aren't commenting.
Without a doubt, we know that my daughter was not a drug user, and I had a second autopsy myself, paid out of pocket, because we felt so uncomfortable with the way it was handled.
It's Lauren. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
Lauren was a familiar face to YouTube audiences. Her family says she had been a track star at Stanford High School and was now studying physical therapy at Norwalk Community College. A sweet child, they say, who had blossomed into a beautiful young woman who had the whole world at her feet. They say Lauren had met, quote, an older white man on the dating app Bumble, and it was he who alerted police to Lauren's death.
Ladies, I know you're trying to get your grind on or whatnot, on these adult sites or whatnot, but mind your surroundings. Watch your surroundings, man. Be responsible.
The family says they are not satisfied with answers they got from an investigator.
I asked him about the guy. He just made it seem like the guy was a nice guy. There was nothing to investigate.
The only contact that we have had was from a very insensitive, condescending, and arrogant detective.
Lauren's dad reading a scathing statement saying police failed to extend the most basic courtesies and told his family to stop calling. Mom, who's left to plan her daughter's funeral just days before Christmas, says she's struggling to find a path forward.
Life is not the same. I don't know who I'm going to be after this.
Since the initial contact with the detectives, Lauren's family has spoken out about how the police department has done next to little to help with the case. The family had to beg the detective to collect evidence in the apartment. They claim they haven't done enough because of the fact that the suspect is a white man.
Developments in the death of Lauren Smith Fields. Autopsy results saying the TikTok influencer's death was accidental.
News 8's Lauren Linder has been following this story since the start and is live in Bridgeport with the very latest tonight. Lauren.
Lisa and Darren, the chief medical examiner's office says Lauren Smith Fields died accidentally after finding evidence of alcohol and a variety of drugs in her system. After this development, the family's attorney tells me they want the Bridgeport Police Department to investigate her death with greater urgency. Acute intoxication, that's what the Connecticut Chief Medical Examiner's Office says caused the death of Lauren Smith Fields, specifically after finding alcohol and multiple drugs, including fentanyl, in her system. They call her death on December 12th accidental.
And now to find out that all these substances are in their daughter's body that basically took her life, they're so angry right now.
Lauren's parents...
I would be too. I would be too. And that's why, man, you know, Elijah Muhammad was right, man. Our women need protection. They don't need to go out a certain time of night when it's dog at death, don't need to go by themselves. I don't care if it's turned dark at 4 o'clock in the evening. Our women do not need to be out by themselves to be predated or be a prey out there. You know what I'm saying? And this is sad. And the police act like they ain't gonna do shit about it.
Find out about her death until they discovered a note on her front door from her landlord 2 days later. They talked about it at a rally Sunday, celebrating what would have been Lauren's 24th birthday.
No one is going to discard my daughter like she's rubbish.
According to the incident report, a man Lauren met on the dating app Bumble told officers he woke up next to Lauren to find blood coming out of her right nostril and Lauren not breathing. It says the man told them he only knew Lauren for 3 days, and she got sick while they were drinking the night before. He also told them at one point Lauren was in the bathroom for 10 to 15 minutes, but eventually came out and fell asleep.
This looks further like a manslaughter, looks more like a murder, and if the police don't start acting fast, we're going to have a real big problem on our hands.
Mayor Joe Ganim, for the first time, shared his thoughts on the case Monday. He said death notification should be done in a manner that illustrates dignity for the deceased and respect and compassion for the family, and that he will work with the chief of police to make appropriate changes. He also offered his support for potential legislation. Senator Dennis Bradley from Lawrence District says he just submitted a bill on this matter.
Will require by statute that every police department within 24 hours either communicate or make a clear and present attempt to communicate with family members within 24 hours.
The police would not say whether he had been taken in for questioning or if he was considered a person of interest in the case. The family waited for a detective to arrive at Lauren's apartment, but after repeated calls, they went inside the apartment to pack up Lauren's belongings. They found a used condom, a pill, and bloody bed sheets.
Now to an I-Team exclusive. There are new questions about the police investigation into the dating app death of a young woman, Lauren Smith Fields, in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Investigative reporter Sarah Wallace delves into that mystery.
Say hello to Arlo.
Boy, I tell you, it ain't pretty, is it?
Reporter Sarah Wallace delves into that mystery.
They wanted us to forget about our daughter, their sister, our loved one. They thought they was gonna just throw her away like she was garbage.
Amid this family's anguish are emotions of outrage and disgust at how the Bridgeport Police Department has investigated the mysterious death of 23-year-old Lauren Smith Fields. Lauren Smith Fields.
It was careless. It was no concern. There was no, care for the family about how we felt, our grief, our pain, none of that.
The I-Team obtained this police report of the response to a 911 call from Lauren's apartment on the morning of December 12th from a white male identified as Matthew LaFountain. The investigator notes he was trembling and visibly shaken. LaFountain said they met on the dating site Bumble, began drinking shots of tequila, and Lauren became ill. That later they played some games, ate some food, and started to watch a movie. He says he carried her to her bedroom and laid her in her bed. He then laid down next to her and fell asleep. He woke up again at approximately 0630 hours, and she was laying on her right side. Blood was coming out of her right nostril onto the bed, and she was not breathing.
The whole day goes by. No police reach out to the family at all.
Her close-knit family says they went to the apartment the next day after frantically calling and texting Lauren and were referred to a Detective Cronin.
They didn't even contact us. They didn't let us know anything. It's like crazy. And I'm asking what's going on. He said she met some guy on Bumble. And I'm asking him about the guy. He was like, oh, he sounds like a really nice guy. He sounds like a really good guy. And he was like, I'll call you back, and just hung up in my face.
They say the detective promised to come by the apartment.
Never showed up.
The family says the relationship with police devolved from there. No contact from December 13th until December 29th. They returned to the apartment to clear out Lauren's belongings and claim a new detective came by to say he'd taken over the case from Detective Cronin.
The detective said he effed up, he messed up, he effed Cronin, he messed up, he didn't know what he was doing, he messed up the case.
The family says they provided evidence they'd collected to crime scene investigators who arrived for the first time that day, included a bloody sheet and a pill.
And 2 cups of drinks or whatever next to a bottle. They didn't take none of that. We seen a condom, we seen lube, other stuff in there. They didn't take none of this.
Sources close to the investigation tell the I-Team the Matthew LaFountain pictured in this social media photo, now removed, was the man at Lauren's apartment. A neighbor at his listed address in Milford confirmed LaFountain's identity, but we were unable to reach the 37-year-old who has not been accused of any wrongdoing. LaFountain's same image appeared under the name Matthew Thomas, now also taken down.
Anyone that genuinely cared and they were there, the last person there, and they know that nothing bad happened, you would at least even reach out to the family yourself. Like, listen, I know I'm sorry for your loss of your daughter or your sister.
The family's last contact with police was on January 4th at headquarters with their attorney.
What I believe is that the police failed to collect and preserve that environment from the first day.
The attorney has now filed a notice of claim to sue Bridgeport for negligence, claiming key evidence was not initially submitted to the state lab.
I feel like because he's a white guy and she's a black girl, it's just almost like they just thrown it under the rug.
That night she was silenced, so now we are her voice. But we're here, and we're fighting for her.
The Bridgeport Police Department did not respond to repeated messages we left about the case.
Maria Pereira, a city council member who represents Ms. Smith-Fields' district, wondered how the police department would treat a wealthy white mother and father who had lost their 23-year-old daughter. I believe wholeheartedly this would have never happened if it was an affluent white family's daughter, said Ms. Pereira. The rapper, Cardi B, also tweeted about the case saying, Connecticut, you have failed that young lady. Before her cause of death was revealed, Darnell Crossland, the family's attorney, said that 1 month later, no developments had been announced in this case.
I think the first thing that sends to the family is that we don't care.
Attorney Darnell Crossland is representing the family and plans to sue the city of Bridgeport over the handling of this case. He says they're still waiting on public records that might give them the answers they're looking for.
We've asked for 911 calls that were made either from that individual to the city or maybe from that individual to other police officers.
He says their asks have fallen into a sea of pending Freedom of Information Act requests the city is facing.
While it gives us some solace to know that we're not alone, it also highlights the fact that other people are hurting as well.
He vowed to file a lawsuit. The release of the cause and manner of death finally came 1 day after the family threatened to sue city and policy officials over their alleged mishandling of the investigation into her death. Bridgeport Police finally announced that its Narcotics and Vice Division had opened a probe with the help of the DEA to determine the factors that led to her untimely death following the release of the autopsy findings. The case is still open at the time of making this video. Matthew LaFountain is still a free man at the time of making this video. We do hope this case...
Yeah, say it ain't shocking reality. Well, I tell sisters, man, don't go out there looking provocative, man. That's all I can say. Sad situation, but it's truth. You best believe I did some shit like that. They would have out on every news media outlet. Better believe that. But this your boy Moose. Do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.